Hello everyone, my name is Panzer and welcome back to another Panzerkampf video. Today this is going to be my third video in my basic guide series, and I thought today's video would be on tough nuts to crack, aka the toughest tanks in the game and where you can successfully penetrate those vehicles. So let's start off with what I believe to be the toughest tank to kill in the game. It is the Super Pershing, top of the tree, top of the American tree. Sitting at tier 9 and boasts an amazing gun, brilliant armor, and decent maneuverability for the amount of armor it has thrown onto this thing. Let's take a little look at the armor profile. We have got, hear me out now, 100mm plus two 80mm plates on top. That is 260mm of armor at the front. That is 110mm thicker than what is on the front of the King Tiger's plate. You are never going to penetrate the front of this vehicle, nor its lower plate, nor its turret. This thing has amazing frontal armor. So you're probably wondering, where on earth do I penetrate this American monster? Well, I've got a couple of weak points for you. This is an extremely frustrating tank to fight against when you are in your King Tiger. But I can successfully say that through many a battle at top tier, I've picked out three key weak points of this vehicle. Number one, you can reliably penetrate this vehicle through the front, although it is a hard shot. If we look at the front of the turret here, you can see just above the gun mantlet, we have this very small forehead thing on the tank, and it ranges along the right hand side all the way across here where my mouse is pointing, and also extends just below to where this additional armor plate is welded on. Here, if you were to shoot the Super Pershing with the 88mm gun on the Tiger II, you will be able to successfully penetrate it from the front. This also applies to the left-hand side of the tank. Just here, you've got the Commander's cupola, which you can successfully penetrate, although it is a very small target, and that's very hard to hit in the midst of a fight. Second part is additionally on the turret as well. From the front, you can just see the turret face there, or the turret cheeks, on the right-hand side of the tank, and on the left-hand side. Now, if the turret is angled away from you, you can successfully penetrate this area of the tank. Forget about this area up here. You can successfully punch through this area of the turret, as that is only 76mm thick, I believe. And your 88mm on the Tiger II, the long-barreled one, can easily penetrate through this part of the tank. Finally, if we come to the side of the Super Pershing, not the Jumbo, we'll discuss the Jumbo later. Where the tracks are, this is all 76mm behind the tracks. So, when a Super Pershing is angled to you, like this, if you were to load APCR in your Tiger II, you can easily punch through this lower part of the hull where the tracks are. You can even do this with AP, although you can't do it at extreme angles like you would be able to do with the APCR rounds. The next tank is also situated at tier 9, and it is the Tiger II, the Koenigsegg. This is a steel monster of a tank, but has definitely worse armor than the Super Pershing. Now, unlike the Super Pershing, you can penetrate this in quite a few ways from the front in both the hull section and the turret section. So, let's start off with the main weak spot of the Tiger II, which is where most of your shots should be landing in the midst of a battle. It is the turret cheeks, which I'm talking about this part of the turret here, just besides the gun, below the gun as well, and on the other side of the gun on the left-hand side. If we go into our armor profile, we can see that this turret face is 180mm thick, angled at 10 degrees. Your standard rounds on the Super Pershing penetrate up to 159mm of armor plus, but your APCR rounds have a total penetration of 221 millimeters, and this is more than sufficient to go through the front of the Tiger II's turret. Another weak spot on the Tiger II is the lower frontal plate. If we go into the armor profile, you can see the upper frontal plate is 150 millimeters thick, angled at 50 degrees. None of the guns in the game from the Allied side will penetrate this plate. However, the lower frontal plate is only 100 millimeters thick, angled at 50 degrees. So, if a Tiger II comes over a slope like this, you can definitely shoot the lower frontal plate. And additionally, if you have the APCR rounds loaded on the Super Pershing, you can definitely have a good go at penetrating that lower plate as well. Same goes for the IS-2. Lower frontal plate is a weakness, and again, the turret face here is the main weakness of the Tiger II. The third weak point is the sides of the turret. Now, if we look above, the Tiger II's turret is actually curved. It is not a straight surface. So, when a Tiger II has its turret slightly angled towards you, and you have no chance of going through the turret face, shoot the angled part of the turret here, this turret face. This is because this turret, the side of the turret, is only 80 millimeters thick. Although it is angled at 20 degrees, it is not that thick when you compare it to the likes of the turret face, the upper frontal plate, and the lower frontal plate. So for Tiger II is angled to you like this, shoot the side of the turret, and you will have a great opportunity to fully penetrate the side of the vehicle. Our next tank we're going to be talking about is the T-34, and this is an absolute nightmare for the Panzer 38T to deal with. This is because the T-34 has highly sloped frontal armor and a well-rounded turret face. There are two weak points on this tank from the front though, and that is the driver's hatch, all here. This is only 40 millimeters thick, and on your Panzer 38T, both the AP and APCR rounds can penetrate this area of the vehicle. You can also shoot the MG port here, but it is highly advisable for you to shoot the driver's hatch here. Much easier target to hit because it is so much larger. The second weak point are the turret cheeks. Now these are much harder to hit because the T-34, the 1940 model, like on screen here, has a very small turret. So it is up to you whether you want to penetrate the turret cheeks or you want to go for this big bulky driver's hatch here. On the side of the tank, don't be fooled. This armor looks flat all along the upper hull, but it is not. It is still angled, and I believe is about 40 millimeters thick. Yeah, 40 millimeters thick, angled at 40 degrees. So do not shoot the T-34's upper hull from the side. Instead, we'll go back into the armor profile, as we have completely flat armor where the tracks are situated, and that is only 40 millimeters thick. So, where the tracks are, just above, you can see that this armor is entirely flat. So if you want to have a good chance of penetrating T-34 from the side, shoot just where the tracks are situated. The final tank we're going to be talking about today is the Jumbo Sherman. Now, this American tank at tier 7 has extremely good frontal armor on both the hull and the turret. However, there are two weak points to this tank. If we look around the side, where the tracks are situated, this plate is only 30 something millimeters thick, 38 millimeters thick on the sides. The upper part of the hull on the side is 76 millimeters thick. Why do I mention this? Well, because tank players like to angle a lot. Often you'll see jumbos angle towards you like this, and that exposes the extremely fragile and weak plate of the jumbo, just situated behind the tracks there. If a jumbo player is angled towards you in your Tiger, you can take full advantage of this by shooting the lower part of the hull, just where the tracks are, with either your AP rounds or your APCR rounds, and this will slice through the Jumbo Sherman like absolute butter. Now, unfortunately, smart jumbo players will face you frontally like this, giving you no opportunity to shoot the weak lower part of the hull. However, there is one more trick left up your sleeve. If we look at the jumbo's turret, there is an actual shot trap which leads directly into the driver's and co-driver's hatch. How do you hit this? Well, this is the hard part. When engaging a jumbo Sherman in your Tiger, if you see it face on towards you like this, aim for this area of the turret underneath the gun mantlet. Now what that does is it ricochets your shot down into the driver's hatch or the co-driver's hatch. This part of the tank is only 20 millimeters thick and is extremely vulnerable to the 18.8mm gun. That does it for today, everyone. I just wanted to make a short video, as I know we all have our problems dealing with these heavily armored tanks, but hopefully that has given you a little bit more of an insight into where more of the weak spots on these tanks are located, and hopefully you'll be able to transfer this knowledge into your battles. Have a great day, everyone, and as always, I've been Panzerkampf, and I'll see you in the next one.